Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning into my channel, and for those of you that may be new to my channel, welcome, and I hope you like the content that I have here for you today. So today I will be sharing some nail art that I created using this stamping plate from Born Pretty store. I really enjoyed doing this layered stamping look, and I loved how it came out. If you'd like to see how I came up with this look and the thought process behind everything, do stay tuned and let's get started. Alright everyone, so remember in one of my prior videos, which I will have linked in the cards in the top right hand corner, I had mentioned that I do have some other stuff from Born Pretty store to review for you. Well, today I am going to be sharing one of those items that I had to review, which is a stamping plate. And guess what, today I'm taking it back to basics, so I will be doing some nail art using regular nail polish that any and everyone can purchase. So to get things started, I'm just gonna go ahead and use my Hansen Xtreme Wear White On as my base. And what we're gonna do, we're just gonna pretend that these tips already have base coat on them because I'm gonna do a gradient nail art. You can see, but it's not completely even. So this is what I'm saying about white polishes. Even when it comes to regular white polishes, it's hit and miss, really and truly. But because I'm just using this as a base to help make the colors pop, it doesn't really need to be 100% even. So now that I've given that some time to dry with my second coat, I will be going in with my all-time favorite top coat when I'm doing any type of just basic regular polish nails. And this is from Girly Cosmetics, and it is called What a Rush. Honestly, this is my favorite top coat just because it does dry really fast and it has like a very good high gloss shine to it. Okay, so now that my base is dry, I'm going to go ahead and use a latex free sponge, and I'm going to use this to apply the polishes to do my gradient. I'm going to be using O.P.I, Keeping Suzy at Bay, and I'm going to be using Hansen's Xtreme Wear Mellow Yellow. And these are just going to be the two colors that I'm using for the gradient. You can always use more, but just for this look, I'm just going to use two colors. So when you're applying the colors to the sponge, you want to overlap them as best as possible and as much as possible so that when you do go in to apply your gradient, it is going to help to blend the colors. Probably should have put on some gloves, but oh well, next time. So this nail is larger than my sponge, so I'm just going to have to go in after and fill in the top there. And as you can see, I just roll and then I give it a dabbing motion. So now I'm just going to go in at the top with my sponge to help get that blue that wasn't. See? So I'm going to go ahead and do that a few more times to get a more opaque gradient. Tend to do when I find like the sponge might be getting a bit dry, I just go ahead with my scissors, cut that section off, and then I will just use this part, apply the colors like I did before, and go ahead in with another gradient. Gone ahead and I've given that some time to dry. So this step is entirely up to you. Before I go in with any stamping or anything like that, I always like to put on a top coat first, let that dry, and then I'll go in with my stamping. Should in case I make a mistake, it's easier for me to take a Q-tip with just a little bit of acetone and clean up my mistake, because the base is protected by the top coat, than if I just stamp right on top of this, because if I do that, then there's a chance I could remove part of the gradient or all of it. So I'm just going to go in and apply that top coat. And as you can see, the top coat really does help to blend and smooth everything out. Okay, so I don't remember if you guys recall me saying in my last Born Pretty video that I did have a stamping plate. Well, I have two, but I'm sharing this one first. Two stamping plates to share with you from the Born Pretty store. So this one is Nicole Diary 122, and it is, ooh, that glare. It is a layered stamping plate. So I haven't tried layered stamping. I see people doing it all the time. I'm really intrigued by it and I really want to try it myself, so figured why not try with one of these and see how it turns out. There's a Canadian brand, Clear Jelly Stamper. Like, they have a lot of layered stamping plates, and I'm hoping that sometime soon I can actually try some of her stamping plates as well. But yes, so this one was sent to me for review by Born Pretty store, and as you can see, there is, like, I guess you would go with this image first, or I think this image and then this image. Honestly, I'm not quite sure. I'd have to play around with it myself and have some trial and error with it, but they do have quite a bit of images that you can use. Like they have this, they have mountains, they have like this cute under the star, explore more, walk on the wild side, and then they've got like this grass image and these cute little butterflies. So that's actually the two images that I'm going to be using on the base, on the gradient base that I did. I want to try to use the grass and then like maybe layer the butterflies over it. So we'll see how that goes. I'll probably do the grass in like a green. Not sure what color I'm going to do the butterflies in, but yes, as you can see, like they have so many different ways to layer it. Like you could layer this and then put this on top of that. So then the tree would be on that side. But as usual, or as always I should say, the stamping plate does come with the blue film, and you do have to remove this before you attempt to do any stamping because it's smooth and you won't be able to pick up anything with your stamper if you don't remove this first. So let's see, I usually have some type of trouble removing this, it never fails. I'm shocked. Actually wasn't that difficult this time. So this is what the stamping plate looks like once that blue film is removed. Honestly guys, I love a fresh stamping plate. Like to me it just looks so crisp and so clean. And if you can see my reflection, I got a new camera. I completely forgot to mention that. But yes, I finally got a new camera and I'm so excited. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to test some of the images on like a scrap piece of paper just so we can see how they pick up and how well etched they are. Then I'll go in and do the design. Okay, so to test out the images, I will just be going in and using this Moonflower stamping polish. And this one is called Noche, which I believe means night in Spanish. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's what it means. And you don't need it to be a nail tech or anything to buy this. I will leave her website link down below. She makes a lot of great polishes as well, so you guys should really check her out. So I'm just gonna use this, and I will also be using my clear jelly stamper. This stamper has been through a lot. I have another one, but it's not like the clear one, it's a pink one, but it's still like the big bling, but I still need to get another clear one. I really like the clear one, but the pink one's really pretty too. So I find that like for this image it didn't pick up well, but it could also be the stamping polishes. Like what I've learned over the years of stamping is that some images don't work with some plates, some work with others. Sometimes it could be the way that you're swiping when it comes to the polish. Like, see, that didn't transfer well. And I've had plates from Born Pretty store that transfer beautifully. So when that happens, it's kind of frustrating. Okay, so because that didn't work, I'm gonna try a different image. Hopefully we get a better transfer. If not, I'm gonna have to try a different stamping polish. See, this one picked up really nicely. So that's what I'm saying, like some images can always be hit or miss as well. And then as you can see, we got like a really good transfer. So some images are great. Sometimes you have to fiddle with them. Sometimes you just have to figure out what is going to work best. I really would like if some of the word images worked because they look like so much fun. Okay, these two seem to pick up nicely. it transferred nicely. I actually messed it up just now when I was placing it, but yeah, these ones picked up nicely, so I'm not sure what was going on with this end image here, but it seems like the rest of them are working very well. Even got like the little details in the butterfly well as well. Okay, so I will say that so far, besides like that one weird issue I was having, so far I'm finding that the images are really well etched and they're picking up very nicely. I will also have this link down below where you can get this plate from. Sorry, I was totally off camera there, but I'm just applying polish to this one. This one is the one with all the mountains on it. Oh yeah, that's awesome. And even that one transferred nicely. So as you can see, like, this is a pretty decent plate. It could just be that it might be how I was swiping it, how I rolled my stamper on it. Like, it could be a variety of different things with that one image, but the rest of them seem to be working really well. See, even that picked up really nicely. And it transferred nicely too, so you do have quite a few options with this plate. But as I said, I think I'm just gonna go in with this grass image here and along with the butterfly image. But I just kind of wanted to give you guys an idea of how the plate picks up and transfers. Like, I really don't know what happened here. I don't. But everything else seems to really pick up nicely, transfer nicely. Like, look at the details in that mountain. That is so great. Like, look at those fine details, guys. And the fact that it picked it up and it picked up all the little fine-tooth details, to me, that's amazing. And you could do some like reverse stamping with that. I'll show you guys, like, I've done videos with reverse stamping before. I'll leave it in the cards as well as down below, but I will also create some reverse stamping going forward as well. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get ready to stamp the design on my gradient base, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, so if my plate looks like cloudy, it's just because I went in and cleaned it off with some acetone. That's how I usually clean my plates. I think there's, like, I had recently got a stamping plate cleaner, but it should be here soon. I'll have to try it and see what I think about it. I wonder if it's basically acetone. I don't know. I have to see. But usually that's what I use. Oh. To stamp, I'm gonna be using, I have quite a few stamping polishes from like God knows how long. Then I have a set that I haven't even tried or reviewed, so that's why when I say like I have a lot of regular polishes I need to swatch and share, you guys will be taking part with me in that as well. But this one is, the brand is called Mundo de Unas. I always feel like I butcher the name when I say it out loud, but for short people say MDU. And this one is their military green. It's a really nice dark, well, not too dark, but like a forest green almost. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to place this. Maybe I'll okay, I'm gonna put it right near the tip of the nail. And because sometimes you do have to press down, you might tilt this nail on the stand, but that's okay. And what I find with stamping too, like, that's why I should have worn gloves, but anyway. Sometimes you can get away without having to clean your plate in between stamping. Other times you need to actually stop and clean it because sometimes the image will just refuse to pick up as crisp as the first time you stamped it, and it's just because it needs to be cleaned off. Surprisingly, this picked up really well still. And that's what I really like about the clear stampers, because you can get really accurate with your placement. Now what I find is, like, sometimes if, like, you might have seen, like, when I was lifting it, it wasn't fully on the nail. So sometimes you just have to give it a few seconds, maybe roll it a bit. Like, initially when I had thought out this idea in my head, and then I thought about the colors, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna use blue and yellow for the gradient. But then initially I was like, I'm just gonna go in with the black stamping polish. And then at the last minute, literally before I was like, okay, it's time for the stamping, I was like, no, maybe I should use green for the grass instead of just your basic black, and like white for the butterflies. So I think that's what I'm gonna end up doing. So far, what I really like about this plate is I actually didn't have to clean it in between picking up each image. Like, I could just apply the paint, swipe, pick up, and transfer. Like, there was no need for me to go in and clean the plate before re-picking up the image. And to me, that's just like something that I personally like, because it just saves time. Like, you can clean your plates after when you're finished, but if you constantly have to be going in and cleaning in between each stamp, it can become quite annoying. Okay, so I didn't realize that my camera had stopped recording, but I didn't like how the butterflies were picking up with the white, so I did go in and use the black instead. If the camera would focus. So I just like how it looks better with the black. Some grass with some little butterflies flying over them. Ooh, I feel like maybe I should add some stars. Like, I'm thinking maybe like these little stars, maybe that would look nice in the white on the blue sky. See what I'm saying? I always end up changing my mind, or I end up like adding something different. Sometimes I plan it out and I'm like, okay, I'm definitely using this color, and this color, or this technique and this technique. Or sometimes I kind of just wing it and go with the flow. So cute. So now that I've tried layered stamping, I think I'm gonna have to invest in some more layered stamping plates, because right about now the possibilities are endless. Okay, so let's see how this image is gonna pick up with the white. Oh, that looks cute. I might do another set, like coming across. I actually really like that. So I'm just gonna go in and do the same thing on the rest of these tips here. So sometimes what happens with stamping is like you may get a little bit of extra image that you don't want. That's why I like to go in with the top coat first, because I can easily do that. And then it's gone. So I literally just lightly glide the toothpick over what I don't want, and I don't have that problem. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead now, give these a few minutes to dry because I don't want to go in with top coat and accidentally smudge it. So I'm gonna give the stamping polish some time to dry, and then I'm just gonna go in with my final coat of top coat and seal everything in. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've given that some time to dry, so now I'm just gonna go in with my last and final top coat, and this will help to seal in the design and give it a high gloss shine. And here we have it, guys, for this fun stamping and gradient nail art look that I created using the Born Pretty Store Nicole Diary 122 stamping plate. I really liked how this layered stamping image looked. I know it's pretty simple, but to me it still came out really nicely. As always, guys, thank you so much for sticking with me and tuning into my channel. As always, everything will be linked down below for you, and everything will be in the description box, so do make sure that you have opened it. And for those of you that may be new to my channel, welcome, and thank you so much for joining me on this journey. As always, guys, if you know anyone that will like this video or would like this video, do go ahead and share it with them. Make sure you do give this video a thumbs up and subscribe and turn on that notification bell so that you will be notified when I get or when I post new content for you guys. As always, guys, thank you so much and stay glamorous.